welcome to the Metal Head. It is Sunday, and it's a long weekend here in the UK, so everybody is out there still partying. Cheers. We're going to have Necropolis, the band, not the whole band on, but maybe the whole band. We're going to have George on, and as soon as he joins me, I will bring him into the conversation. But in the meantime, let's listen to a bit of Necropolis. It's called The False Sense of Sanity.
What's happening?
George!
How's it going, man? You good?
Yeah, excellent. How are you doing, sir?
Yeah, can't complain, man. Can't complain. All good.
Awesome. So we've been listening to A False Sense of Sanity. Such a cool
Good
track.
choice. Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about Necropolis. When did it all start?
So Necropolis started in 2015. Um, Basically, a bunch of guys got together. We decided we're going to try and expand the metal scene here in Southampton because it's a little bit flaky, if I could say that. Not long after the formation of the band, I was diagnosed with a condition called myalgic encephalomyelitis, which prevents me from exertion. I can't gig. And
Okay.
as things happen, the band kind of went our separate ways. But it's a project I was passionate about. I've got a long history in music. I was in South Africa as part of Necropolis, Subliminal. We did Big Fundy Buy, a lot of sort of national gigs. So yeah,
I, I, thought, I, thought
2015.
I thought I recognized that accent. It sounds like mine.
Yeah, unmistakable. Yeah, so basically I decided to go solo and focus more on just trying to get my music out there and increase the metal scene, trying to
Yeah,
just get more people listening to what I enjoy.
absolutely. Well, that's awesome to hear. So you're based down in Southampton, did you say?
Southampton, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's great because I'm looking for people all over the UK and all over the world really, who's kind of driving the metal scene. Because you're kind of a pillar. So that if I want to come play by you guys and you want to come play by us, we're able to swap between towns, and who's driving the scene. It's really
Absolutely.
important. And
Absolutely, yeah.
you're doing an amazing job being the person who sits and does that type of thing, even though you can't get up and play. So you're kind of taking your sickness or whatever you want to call it, and you're still doing something for metal, which is so freaking awesome. And unfortunately, some people suffer from anything, cancers, depressions, and all. This is numerous things,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
you can, as long as you get up and you do something, you win. So and I do believe that maybe one day you will play,
Oh,
because there's
it'll be amazing.
medications, there's all kinds of
Yeah.
crap which come up with, so never give in and
It'll just
never go, it's never going to happen. It just might
it'll be even
happen.
strange though, just one guy standing on stage with a backtrack and a guitar.
I've got a guy who plays for Descendants of Odin.
Yeah,
He's a one-man band, so he's got his drum machine, gets on stage, does his thing. He's
really.
also going to be doing a show on the Metalhead called Halls of Odin. So it's not it's let me take another example. There's a guy from Malevolent Creation, the new lead singer, Lee Vollenschlager from South Africa,
Yeah, I saw that.
and
Epic,
he had a
absolutely
band
amazing.
called he had a band called he's still got a band Imperial Empire. He's a one-man band. He plays his backtracks. He sings and he plays guitar. It can be done and should be done. And it takes a lot of courage to get up there and freaking do it. And when he did it, I was at one of his shows. Dude, it absolutely kills. It's freaking heavy. So don't ever think,
Good,
oh, I'm
good.
one man, I can't do it. You can do it. You know, even if let's say you couldn't play guitar and all you could do was sing, you get a guitarist, get up there with the drum machine, and off you go. Just do it, dude.
Fair play.
I
Yeah,
would.
fair play, fair
There's
play.
always ways and means of getting ahead. So yeah.
Absolutely.
So tell us a little about Necropolis. Do you have any albums out there? How many? And
So
do you have singles out there?
yeah, they're singles. They aren't full albums. What I do is, as I get something and
Yeah.
it's to the standard where it can be released, I release it. I go into Root Note and I get them to distribute for me. The EP, which I'm giving away for free at the
Okay.
moment, is like the first real
Yeah.
thing where I've put tracks together. I've taken time. I've written out the lyrics and I've done all that. But if you pop onto our Spotify, it's just a singles. I think 13 singles in total.
Okay. Yeah. I've checked through that, and if I look back, you said when did you start in 2018 recording?
Started releasing things on Spotify in
Because that's what.
2018, sort of February-ish, around there. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So yeah, everybody needs to go out there and check it out on Spotify. Are you on YouTube as well? Can people go in there and have a look?
I haven't got an official channel yet. I'm busy working on it, but they can go if they type in a Necropolis Root Note. It takes them to all the auto-generated videos, which they do for me.
Cool. Let's speak about something else. Let's speak about your Draven production. And you're a bit of a magician, I believe.
I am.
Yeah, and it's this part of the show that I would like to have you come onto the Metalhead and do your own show on there, and bring magic onto the Metalhead. You know, and you know, incorporate your music if you must and if you have to, because it's part of metal and it's freaking awesome music. And I'd love you to do a bit of magic on the Metalhead every now and then. Would you consider doing that?
Yeah, I can do. And it's funny you say that. I was actually thinking about getting hold of Chris from Heaps of Metal, amazing
Yeah,
group, by the way, and
he's actually watching.
organizing like Chris, hello, and organizing like so I work 3 Saturdays out of 4. I mean I'm off 3 Saturdays out of 4. Sorry. So I was thinking if I could host like a podcast, metal podcast, either on this channel or on Chris's channel.
Yeah.
And I have like a webcam set up here, so I can do a podcast through all my gear and all the unsigned bands. We can play like an hour of that, have video footage. I can perform some magic, just try and engage. So that's where I'd like to do that sort of thing.
Well, as long as you put that podcast on the Metalhead, and I would really appreciate that. But
yeah, so maybe
I need the not just it's got to be video footage, obviously, and we'd like to have you eventually do your own show on our metal channel on TV that we're gonna do. So if your show is really out there and really awesome, and because I'm looking at a lot of people and I want them to come onto the Metalhead pub, just do what you do, just enjoy yourself, and just go out there and let's see what you got. And when the time comes for us to put that TV channel together, I'd love to take you, put you on TV, pay you. And maybe you don't need to do your day job or whatever like that. You can do something that you really love, because that's where we're going. And at the end of the day, it won't be for free. Whoever comes onto the Metalhead pub and really puts it out there and really builds a show for themselves is somebody that I'm gonna look after. And if those people also play bands and stuff, we're going to look into that as well, because, we're going to do this Blisterfest thing that I'm doing. It's going to be like an open air thing eventually, 4 or 5 stages plus, I don't know how many. But to have you come on and do magic and somehow play your music, You'll make a way of doing it. You know, it can be part of the Blister Fest as well. And I would like to bring in a lot of my shows and put it out there on a stage, even if I have to, because there's great people out there, and there's a lot of ideas and stuff that we can do. Even if we put a massive big screen up there, and we put some shows on during intervals and stuff, and people, the Blister Fest is going to be totally different because it's going to be linked to the metal channel that we're doing, and you know, so that's where we're going. And I'd love to see what you got. And you know, if you had the time to sit and put yourself something really awesome together, you know, whatever you want to, and build your own thing, call it whatever you want to call it, and then we will work with you and see where we go.
Yeah, it sounds pretty epic. Sounds cool.
Yeah. So it'll be really cool. So that's where the Metalhead pub is just a front for me to interview people and find bands, you know, and build a little bit of a community as well. But there's a bigger plan behind this whole Metalhead pub, and you know, so I've got to do a bit of business, meet people, and I like to meet them like this, face to face, and see who they are, see what they got, and I can just tell by you that you got, you know, magic.
Excuse the
So
pun.
so yeah, it'll be cool. So think about it, and you know, incorporate the music in it, and you can talk to Chris about it. I'm sure he'll be up for you know, some exciting stuff, because Chris and me, we talk a lot, and Heaps of Metal's going to be on my my TV channel one day. He's going to have to host his own show on there and talk about. I want to take the Facebook metal pages, and I want to give them a face on TV. So if there's somebody out there with a Facebook metal page that's promoting metal bands, all that stuff, you know, and they are somebody I can trust and somebody I can work with, then we will work to put them on there, and that's going to give their Facebook page something big, because suddenly you've got a
Yeah.
full show you can put on your Facebook page. People are going to know you in a different way. It's going to expand the metal scene as well, which is really important, because I'm busy putting together my own record label, and we are kind of doing it a little bit differently, because we're approaching it with this channel. We're going to add to the metal label somehow, and we've got our Blister Fest, which is going to be touring the world. We want to do the UK, Europe. We want to go back down to South Africa. That's going to be cool. I know a couple of people who can put on some cool shows there for us. And you know, take it to the USA and all over, even India, even places like Kenya. And I hear Botswana's got a metal scene, and that looks really cool. So I want to go check that out. So there's a lot of stuff coming, and we're excited to, you know, be doing this. It's going to take a while to put it all together and find the people, but you know, we're investigating everything we can, and to have that magic show, well, that'll be rather magic.
Absolutely. Yeah, it sounds cool, man. It sounds like an amazing project.
Yeah, yeah. So let's play some Necropolis. And what is your favorite song that you have written, sir?
Uh, One of three at the moment. It's either False Sense of Sanity, Keepers, which is our new one, or Heretic.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's play False Sense of Sanity, because I got it in
Cool.
front of me.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Here we go. False Sense of Sanity.
Oh, let's break the chains.
Except that's not it. This is it. Take two.
That's the one. Cheers.
So just listening to that, listening to your vocal and listening to that voice of yours, you've got an amazing voice. Just love it. It's
Thank
freaking
you.
really awesome. Who are your main inspirations when it comes to bands? Where are you drawing in your
Oh
inspiration
man,
from?
I've got so many. At the moment, I am listening to a lot of things like Hell Yeah. I'm listening to a lot of things like
Yeah.
Ginger, but the older stuff, the new stuff, I'm a little bit
Okay.
on the fence. And Static X. So I'm going to go and watch the Static X reunion show in September. So I'm listening to a lot of them at the moment.
Okay. Oh, that's cool. So it's kind of new school. Well, new school metal is like 20 years old now, but you know, so
Yeah.
there's a couple of flavors in there, and you know, to the stuff that you're listening to, it doesn't actually sound quite like what you're doing because this is pretty much heavier than that. Um, you
Yeah,
know,
I've got a
but
strange sound, and I get asked what genre do I feel I'm in, and I have absolutely no idea because a lot of the guitar work, like the melody tracks, I draw from Slayer. Like if you listen to South of Heaven and then listen to the guitar riff in this track, there's
yeah,
similarities. So I don't actually know what I'm classified as. I have no
yeah,
idea. I just make what I like.
it's really cool because you know I've got two bands as well, and so sometimes I take an album, I listen to it, and I'll sit down and I'll take something. I won't take the riff. It's you take some element from, you know, that band
Yeah,
or song or something, and you play it, and it kind of takes you on a different journey, which is really cool. I like to like listen to all kinds of crap because when I'm writing music, it really it's amazing to see how you can make something out of somebody else's stuff, but you don't sound at all like them, which is really cool.
absolutely,
Because when once you
absolutely.
mention
Yeah.
like Hell Yeah and Ginger, you know, you don't sound like that at all. And listening to this track playing behind you, I don't hear the Slayer. So what you've kind of taken out of it and made it your own is actually really cool. So that's an amazing
Yeah.
technique because a lot of people will listen to something, put it down on their album and go, "Oh crap, I sound like Slayer now."
Yeah, you do find that a lot, don't you?
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
so it is quite an art to do what you do, and I think it's really cool, you know, to write music like that because I've tried myself. It does work, but sometimes I mess it up and it sounds like the other band, and then you've got this cool stuff going, and it's like I can't use it now. Crap.
I've got about 26 gigs worth of tracks that I can't use because it sounds like other stuff. I'm like, no, I can't use that, can't use that, can't use that. So yeah, I know the
Yeah,
feeling.
it's quite hard, you know, when you've got all this cool stuff, but it sounds just too similar to something else, and you've got to try and keep it
Yeah,
fresh and new and to your band's sound. So yeah, it is an art form, and but it's lots of fun, and I wouldn't actually have it any other way. I love it like that. So,
absolutely.
so what is your plan going forward with Necropolis? We want to see you play live somehow.
Yeah, I mean, I would absolutely love to play live. I think that's the dream, isn't it? The dream is getting
Yeah.
getting out there face to face with your fans and just having a good time on stage. Um, but I mean, I do merchandise. I've got a couple of merchandise sold already, which is called like band t-shirts. I'm wearing one at the moment. So just yeah, just I
Yeah.
mean, just keep the band. I say the band. I'm a solo, but just keep doing what I'm doing. And trying to keep the metal scene alive as long as possible. You know, try to be part of that community,
Yeah.
that life, breathe life back into it.
Absolutely, and you know everybody needs. We need people to be doing that. You know, some people are just fans. They enjoy the music or whatever, but they're not driving the scene. They drive the scene by going to gigs, buying the music for sure. But you need the people who get up and say, "I'm going to go a little bit further because you know we're not going to make the die out." And metal has grown. It's the biggest genre of music that has grown actually in the last year as far as statistics go. So we are taking the world by storm,
It's good,
but
good,
it
good,
is
good.
huge. I mean, there's so many metal bands out there at the moment that you cannot listen to all of them. There's no
Yeah,
way.
absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
and it
They're
really
everywhere.
comes down. It's a case of being at the right place at the right time to actually maybe even get signed and be heard, and you know, so you know it is. it's important for myself as well. Coming from South Africa, I played in a band called Trist. We started in 1997. We were in Bloemfontein, of all places, and we did okay there. We had a little thing going, but you know, eventually that broke up, and I came to the UK and so on. But I'm going to be doing my band again that I did back then, and I didn't front the band. I played guitar, but this time I'm going to front it, and I've got another band as well called LMG, which I'm going to do as well. And so that's really cool, and it's nice to see someone come from South Africa standing on this side of the world, going, you know what, I'm standing for metal. I'm doing what I can, and you know, it's really cool because you know what it's like to be in South Africa, and you know, over the last 23 years since I've been there, it's gotten slightly better, but slightly worse in many cases. So. But, you know, still, there are people standing on that side of the world, and they're standing in their town, and they're saying, we're fighting for metal just like you are and just like I am, and which is really cool. So, you know, I commend you on that, because we need that all over the world if we're going to stand strong. So it's great to see you doing that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, what's your plans in terms of Necropolis for another album? Are you doing something to sort of do a
So at
new
the
album
moment,
sometime?
yeah. So Keepers is the last track I will release with this
It looks
current
like George is
EP.
frozen.
We Oh, have I frozen?
It looks like our
Am I
connection
back?
is a bit frozen there, George.
I can hear you.
He'll be back in a minute. He's a magician. He'll make it work.
No
We're just
connection
holding on.
gone.
And let's see if George can get his sound right there. I'm going to play a little bit of Necropolis in the moment. It looks like we lost George there, but I just want to give him a few seconds to see if he'll come back. Um, we're listening to his band Necropolis, and it's really awesome music. You can catch it on Spotify, get it on YouTube. I think it's coming back. Um, let's just give him a second there to see if we can get his connection going. All I see is a black screen. Ah, that's totally metal of him. He's blanked the whole thing out. Right, hold on. Oh, I think he's back. George, can you hear us? George? It looks like we got a bit of a slow connection there. Everything's in slow-mo. So give us one more second. Let's see if we can connect properly. Right, I thought I had George back there for a minute, but you know, these things are live and sometimes they go wrong. But it's okay. We're in the pub. We can drink some beer. You guys are wherever you are, and you know, if there's ice cold beer near, do grab one. It is a hot day in the UK, and it's great to see that there's so many people out there that do view these things. But George is an awesome guy, and I'd love to get him on the Metalhead, and we'd love to do some magic. It's absolutely what I want on the Metalhead Pub. And George can then bring some more of Necropolis on, and we can see what we can do, because I'd love to see him play live. I know he's got problems, but that's not a problem. There's always a way to fix it. So be positive, people. Okay, some people say they can see George. Now, he is a magician, and I can't see him, so this is possibly part of his magic trick, and I can actually hear him. So I
Can
can't
you hear me
see.
now? Am I back?
He's back, but I can't see him. That is the oddest thing. You are a magician. Now, this is black magic. What is going on here? You explain yourself to me, George. You are watching my
Magic.
screen. I cannot see you. I can see me adding you, and people are saying they can see you. Now, he is a
Okay,
magician,
cool. As long as
so I don't know if this is one of his tricks. So you explain yourself, sir.
I have no idea. Bad connection?
Right, we can't see you, or some people can see you, but you can tell us about Necropolis's next album. What is going to happen there?
Yeah, so like I was saying before, I got so violently disconnected.
Yeah.
We currently have a track completed. It's called Left Behind. It's I try and theme my releases. I try to have it like a theme behind it. So it's like a story you can follow in terms of lyrics. So this particular one, I
Yeah.
recently did a stint in hospital um, with inflammatory bowel disease, and it kind of sparked this idea about um, when you die, the whole life flashing before your eyes cliche. So this next
Yeah.
EP is going to revolve around that sort of thing. That sort of, I'm going to do some research into what people experience, near-death experiences, and try to write lyrics around that and make it quite macabre. I'd like a real macabre sound. But
Okay.
I've been listening to some gent, so like Stevie T, Jared Dimes, and Meshuggah, those sort of guys, to get a feel
Yeah.
for the rhythm styles. And I'm thinking about
Okay.
not making it sound like gent because I'm not a huge gent fan, but incorporating some of those off rhythm um, strumming techniques into this new EP, just to try and
Okay.
change the sound up a little bit and keep it fresh. But that'll
So some
probably
kind of
release where we now
off
August.
beats type of offbeat guitar playing. Yeah, it's pretty awesome to be able to put that together.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm experimenting with that at the moment. And then, like in Keepers, you'll notice that there's a bit of a vocal style change where it's more like Marilyn Manson-ish, it's like a groggy singing through a broken speaker. I want to bring more of that in into the
Okay.
new EP because it creates a nice audio dynamic when you're listening. It isn't just one wall of sound. There are crescendos, there are peaks. It keeps the listener interested. So that's where I'm going with this. It'll probably be about 4 tracks, and I'll try and get it
Uh,
out around end of December.
Okay, that's really cool. We'd like to see like a 15-track album from you.
Give me 12 months. Give me 12 months.
But yeah, talking about how you're putting it together and all the kind of things that you're putting in it, it really is cool to investigate, all those things. It makes the album so much more interesting. And,
Yeah, exactly.
so yeah, that's going to be really cool to see how you bring Meshuggah, that off beat playing and in. They're really freaking awesome. So,
You guys are epic. Yeah.
yeah, I'd love to see how you make it into Necropolis and bring that flavor in. I think it's going to be pretty awesome.
I hope so. I hope so. That's the idea. It can go one or two ways. It can be absolutely epic, or it can just completely fail and fall on its face. So, but either way, I'll release it. It's
No,
projects and it's about getting it out there.
it won't fail. It won't fail. You'll make it successful because just listening to what you put out there already, you won't settle for like second best. I can hear like the perfection in there, and it must be hard work for you to put it all together as a one-man show as well. To it's just yourself doing it. So you will not fail. It'll sound freaking awesome. I believe that you will pull something out of Meshuggah and and all the other stuff you want to do, all the effects and voice effects or whatever you want to put in there. I think it's going to be freaking awesome, and it's something to look forward to. And it's just before Christmas. If you push out 4, we'll have a Christmas present.
Exactly, awesome.
So, George, the magician, Father Christmas, will be coming in with the new Necropolis, hopefully by December, and we can all the 25th of December unwrap the new Necropolis and headbang to your Sunday lunch or wherever the lunch is. I don't know what day it's on, but do look out for it. And I'm sure we're going to see George on the Metalhead, and he might sneak in some studio recording stuff that he does at home or whatever. We'd love to see that be part of your journey of putting those 4 songs together. You can always record some of it, send it over to me, and I will put together some kind of a little video, edit it a little bit for you, and say this is Necropolis in his studio at home, and if you want it, so we can make it really cool and promote it a little bit more for
sounds
you.
epic.
Yeah. So
I'm actually now you're speaking about a video. I'm shooting my my very first music video tonight. Well, some of it. So what I'll do is I'll get some of the footage and I'll edit it and I'll pop it on Heaps of Metal, and I'll pop it on the Metalhead Pub if that's all right.
Absolutely, of course you can.
Sweet, I'll get it done tomorrow.
Where are you shooting the video?
You're gonna laugh at this. Actually, my front room. I purchased a projector off Amazon, and I've got a real cool effect. So we're gonna close my front curtains. I've got a big like patio door. I'll close the curtains, project onto that. The band has like a mascot. It's a Dark Ages doctor. So I've got like that doctor's mask. So we're going to shoot a little segment of that with the projector projecting onto me in a blackened room with probably my BC Rich Warlock jamming to False Sense of Sanity.
Awesome. Okay, so now that is going to be really cool, and that sounds so interesting. Just using what you've got, available, say in your home or whatever, to actually make it's probably going to be an epic little video that comes out of this.
I hope so.
It's great to see you. No, it really excites me because I'm the fan of taking the minimal stuff that you have and making it into something really cool, making it look professional. Even if you present a show and you just use one wall on your house and you make it look super cool, and that's how you shoot your videos, because it makes a big difference, and people want to see you, and you build a character for yourself. And I love acting, and I love all that type of thing as well. So it's great to hear that you're taking what you got there and you're going to do something awesome. I'd love to see that. Do send it to us, and we
Absolutely,
can play it on the So think about your magic show and the metal as well.
I'll do that.
Maybe make some cool intro for that show, and we can put it together. And you can record yourself or whatever, and send it over to me. I'll edit the thing. We'll make a little video for you, and we'll get you out there.
Sweet, sounds good. Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, so that's gonna be freaking awesome, dude. I love that. That's amazing. It's amazing to see people that, like I said in the beginning, that have some kind of a problem or some kind of a, suffering with something, but they stand up and they still win. They go, I ain't gonna settle for losing, even if they just dig in and make it work. And that to me is a winning person. I always take into consideration the things people go through in life, what they got to carry. A lot of people will look at somebody and say, oh, what a complete loser, but they don't know what's happening in that guy's life. They don't know where he comes from.
Yeah,
they don't know what he's
absolutely.
carrying. And those are the things I do not judge people. I first get to know them and know their story, because the story is so powerful. Your story is an album's worth for Necropolis, my man, because there's such amazing, it's powerful. and other people that are suffering with the same problems see you get up and do something like that, and they go, you know what, if he can do it, I can do it. I ain't going to quit. You know, it's that fighting spirit that we all need in this life that we're in. And, you know, nothing's for nothing unless you get a golden handshake, and it happens sometimes. But, you know, sometimes you have to get your backside kicked hard.
Unfortunately, yeah, it's how it is, isn't it?
Right, George. So thank you for joining us on this Sunday. We're looking forward to the release in December. That's going to be a Christmas present to us all. And I think we're gonna try and promote it. I'm sure Chris Heap, I've got other people that can help you promote on other sites, and they'd probably love to get, you know, you interviewed on the other sites as well, and we could push it out to as many people as possible across the world. And you know, don't forget about my TV channel. It's going to be the Metalhead TV channel, and I'd really love to have you be part of that and do something freaking off the wall. So think about it, because who wants to do a crappy old day job for the rest of their life when they can play with magic? Right. So,
absolutely, we'll do.
George, yeah. So let's play Keepers again, and we will speak to George soon. We'll see some footage from him in the future, and we can't wait to see a bit of that video. So don't keep it to yourself, dude. Share it with us.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right.
Yeah. So I'm going to say goodbye now, and you
Not a
go off
problem.
and shoot that video, and freaking, I know it's going to be awesome because you are awesome. So
That's amazing.
everybody,
Thank you for having me.
That was George from Necropolis, and we're going to play out with Keepers. See you.
Awesome.